What's up, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? YouTube in the building. YouTube, make sure y'all comment. I want to make sure y'all hear me clearly. Y'all hear me nice and good. What's up? What's up? We back again with another week of Thirsty Thursdays. It's been an honor. I think this is what, like our fourth, fifth one. We had some pretty great topics, talking about credit the other week, talking about unlocking our financial trauma, talking about, getting rid of the poor mindset, different poor habits we have. Like, we really been spitting game, building up the YouTube content. And it's super crazy because I'm in the beginning stages of me building up this YouTube, right? Only have like about 140 something subscribers. And I know next year when I have like, way more subscribers, right, than I have right now, it's just gonna put a lot of things into what's the word? It's gonna put a lot of things in perspective for me, right? So we growing out the YouTube, we starting from the bottom, right? We've started from the bottom. This is Thirsty Thursdays, y'all. And I keep telling y'all don't go to the club by yourself. Y'all come to the club with y'all bottles. Y'all come to the club with y'all friends. So make sure you come in the club. You come to Thirsty Thursdays with your notebook and your drink, right? That's how we spending this. That's how we doing this, right? We learned about financial literacy. We're going to be doing some life lessons. And I'm also going, bring on some guests on the platform because it is Thirsty Thursdays. And let's say if I don't know something, I'm not going to sit on here and act like I don't know. I am going to provide y'all the person that has the information, is an expert in the information. But tonight, we'll be breaking down how to start a budget, why budgeting is important, and all of that good stuff, right? So let me get some fire emojis in the chat, y'all. Let me get some fire emojis on the chat. I'm going to send out this message so everybody knows that I'm live on YouTube right now. Right, so we're going to send it to the community. If y'all want to join the community too, make sure y'all just text yo. Y'all can text yo. Y'all can text what's up to 347-851-8868. That's my number right there. 347-851-8868. Right. So if y'all text that number, y'all now have my personal phone number. I'm gonna text y'all back. See, a lot of people been texting, asking questions, and we just been connecting. So let me tell them what's good. What's good, billionaires? What's good, billionaire? I'm live on YouTube right now talking about how to create a budget. Click below to join. All right. So we sending that message out. All right, we sending that message out. Let's get it, y'all. So we about to get started. So who in here has a budget? Right? That's the first question I want to ask. Right? Who has a budget? Who has a budget? Who has a budget? Let me know. And if you have a budget, what is that budget looking like? What is that budget looking like? I'm live on YouTube right now, y'all. We live YouTube. We are live. All right, so what does that budget look like? What does that budget consist of? Right, my hair fresh and done right now, so that's why I'm gonna keep putting it down, the hair fresh and done. But we live on YouTube right now, so if you come into my Instagram live, make sure you come over to the YouTube live, y'all. We live on YouTube for Thirsty Thursdays. We are breaking down how to create a budget, right? So that's what we're talking about today, and we about to get into it, right? So first we want to talk about what exactly is a budget, right? What is a budget, right? So a budget is a financial plan, right? It's a financial plan because it's something that we use as a plan to get us to our financial goals, right? So it helps us determine like exactly how will we spend our money, right? How much money we have coming in, right? So our budget lets us know, okay, it's going to keep us within these boundaries. That's why having a budget is super important, right? So budgeting is not about how much money you make. It's not about, once you make a certain amount of money, you don't have to budget anymore. No, once you make a certain amount of money, that's the exact reason why you should continue to have a budget, right? And you really want to start having a budget when you have a little bit amount of money, because it's a good old saying that says, what you do with a little is what you'll do with a lot, right? So if you don't know how to handle $100, you're not going to know how to handle 1,000. If you don't know how to handle $5, you're not going to know how to handle 10. Budgeting only a little bit of money only shows you what you'll do with a lot of money. So it's really important that you learn these skills when you are building, when you don't have as much capital right now, because when you get more money, it's only going to make your habits worse, right? So we're going to tap in, right? So don't say that, I don't have enough money right now to budget. Yes, you do. That's even more of a reason for you to budget. You definitely have enough money to budget, right? And a budget can be weekly, right? It can be daily. It can be monthly. It can be yearly. But what usually happens is, okay, you figure out, you say, okay, like, I want to have this much money. I want to spend this much money. I want to do this with my money in this year. So that means that I got to do this during this month. Then I got to do this during this week. Then I have to do this during this day, right? So that's what happens. So it's almost like if I know I want to make $1 million this year, I have to say, okay, how much money do I have to make per month? Now, how much money do I have to make per week? Now, how much money do I have to make per day, right? So when you break things down in a simple, easy way for you to understand, then it doesn't seem unattainable. A lot of the times we do things and we make it a pretty, like a huge goal, and then it's too big for us to even understand ourselves. It's too big for us to understand ourselves. But if we say, okay, I'm gonna break it down, I'm gonna create this budget, and I'm gonna do this every month, I'm gonna do this every week, or I'm gonna do this every day, it's a little more simpler. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know how to say that, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? It's more easy for you to understand. Can you join real quick to check the audio for me?
It is good.
All right, perfect.
Wait, I think it would sound better on just the Mac though, because it sounds a bit muffled.
Muffled. All right, how the audio sound now, y'all? How the audio sound? Let me know how the audio sounding. Let me get a one in the chat if the audio sound good or if it sound muffled. Let me know. We testing out these mics real quick, so
it's not bad. It's just
I can hear it real quick from your phone.
My phone's upstairs.
Oh, all right. You don't gotta go get it. It's fine. All right. How we sound?
How it's
How?
not bad. It's just I feel like it'd be better on the actual Mac.
The audio sound good on here, but it's like I gotta have it at a certain place. So let me know.
Like, when somebody talks about the lows and highs of frequency?
Yeah, it's too loud.
No. Like, the high frequencies aren't as loud and clear.
So I need to put the volume up.
No. I don't think you understand.
All right, so just take it off for now.
Just leave it. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we back. All right. We just want to make sure the audio nice and crispy and clean for this good information that we're about to release. I know Instagram audio good because y'all not on YouTube. Y'all not on YouTube with the good stuff. Y'all not on YouTube with the mics. That's why I'm telling y'all gotta tap into YouTube because we on here, right? We got YouTube set up, right? All right, but we back to it. All right, so let's get it. So now when you creating a budget, it's really important that you have goals, right? And you want your goals to be very, very specific, right? So we were touching on this before, right? So you want to have something called SMART goals. SMART is an acronym. So S stands for specific. That means that you don't want to just say, all right, I want to lose weight. Okay. You want to lose what? Just 1 pound? You want to lose 5 pounds? By when, right? When do you want to do this? Like what's your plan to do this, right? You want to be very specific with your goal. You want to say, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds by the end of this month, right? So you want to have a very specific goal. Now, measurable. You want to be able to measure your goal. So you want to put a number behind it, right? Because when you put a number behind it, you'll be able to see if you actually attain that goal, right? If you say you just want to lose weight, right, it's not very specific and it's not something that's measurable versus when you put a number behind it. Now, you want it to be attainable. Right? If I'm 300 pounds and I say I want to be 190 by tomorrow, that's not something that's attainable. You want your goals to be attainable. You want it to be something that it actually makes sense. It's actually something that you can do within your time frame, right? So that's how you don't get discouraged. You get discouraged by knowing that, okay, this is something I can accomplish. Now, R, right? You want it to be realistic, right? So it actually goes hand in hand with attainable. You want your goal to be realistic. You want it to be something that you actually are able to do. Like, you have to be honest with yourself when you're creating these goals. Now, don't be, honest with yourself to where you're like, okay, no, I can't do it, because you have self-doubt. Be honest with yourself to say, okay, I can do it, but I may need a little bit more time, or I may need less time, right? So you want to be very realistic with your goals. Then you want to be time bound, right? So you want to put a date on things, right? You want to keep pushing yourself. You want to be able to say, okay, this is exactly when I need this done, right? So it helps you stop procrastinating. It helps you be very exact with what you need to do. It helps you create a schedule, a plan. So you want to have smart goals, right? Super, super smart goals. Now, why is it important to have a budget, right? So we talked about this, but I want to go in depth of why it's super, super important to help you have a budget, right? So we all went through this pandemic, right? And I'm not sure if the pandemic is over or not. I don't know. Y'all let me know if the pandemic is over or not. But I'm pretty sure I really don't know what's going on with COVID. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I do. But we all went through this pandemic. And what happened during the pandemic? People were losing their jobs. Money was getting dry for people. So now they're like, dag, all that money I spent last month, man, I should have saved it for this month. People were all caught up in all types of situations financially because they weren't prepared for the pandemic. Now, if you had a budget in place and you knew, okay, this is how much money I have coming in, this is where my money is going, then when the pandemic came, you would have been able to, you may have to tell yourself, like, okay, I got to fall back on this, but at least you knew where your money was coming from and where your money was going. Right? A lot of us don't know where our money is coming from, and we don't know where it's going. Or we know where it's coming from, but we know as soon as we get it, we spend it. Right? We go spend it because we're like, dag, I got all this money. What should I go do with it? But if I know exactly where every dollar, where every dime is going, I'm less likely to just go spend my money. If I know, okay, I got to pay rent or mortgage at this time, I know that money is going to be allocated to there. If I know I got to get groceries at this time, that money is going to be allocated towards there. If I know that, okay, I got to pay for my children's daycare, I know that my money's going to go there. If I know I got to pay my tuition, I know my money's going to go there. So a budget helps you understand, like, okay, this is where my money is going, and it also help you, figure out, okay, where can you get money from if you ever have some type of financial situation, right? And it helps you maintain a balance at the end of the day because you know where your money is going, right? So then it helps you create less financial stress. So now that I know where my money is going, I know where my money is coming from, I'm less likely to be stressed out about money because I actually know what's going on with my money. A lot of the times people are stressed out because they don't know what's going on with their money. They don't know when the next dollar is coming, and they just got a whole bunch of things to pay for, or they got a whole bunch of things that they want, right? So it's super important that we understand, okay, I need to know where my money is going, where my money is coming from, so I could be less stressed, right? Because stress causes other issues, right? It causes us to not be healthy. Now we got to pay health bills, right? And hospital bills. So it's like a ripple effect because of a lack of financial literacy. So that's why you're doing Thirsty Thursdays and y'all tuned in learning financial literacy so that y'all can understand what's going on. Now, having a budget prepares you for the future. Just like we were talking about with the pandemic. I know, okay, this is how much money I'm working with. If something happens, I'm able to make sure that I know, like, okay, I can get money from here. I got money sitting here. I got this investment account. Like, I know what's going on with my money. Now, you'll realize when you have a budget, there's a lot of things that we actually don't need. They're just things that we buy because we want it. We don't really need this stuff, but we want it, so we go get it. Right? So when you have a budget, you're able to say, okay, nah, I don't really need this. It's not in my budget. It's not in my budget to get it. I may be able to get it in the future, but right now it's not in my budget. Right? And it helps you have 100% control over your money. And that's why I tell people, right, budgeting is not just for people who don't have a lot of money. Budgeting is for everyone. Billionaires don't become billionaires by just spending their money. billionaires become billionaires because they have certain habits and qualities about themselves that take them to that level, that helps them create a certain amount of assets, that helps them invest in a certain amount of things, right? So they have 100% control over their money. They know that they got this asset pool, this asset class. They know they got this asset class. They know they have this asset class. They know they have all these different asset classes. So they're not, they have 100% control. They're not worried about their money. Now, let's get into it. So we have wants versus needs, right? Wants versus needs, right? So wants, these are things that we just desire to have. We all have things that we desire to have, right? We all desire to have a certain amount of things, right? So me personally, if I my future self, when I'm watching this, I'ma have it. But I want a pair of Pradas, right? I want a pair of blue and silver Pradas, right? I want that. That's something that I desire to have. I want I want a nice sprinter. I want a sprinter for me to pull up places and go to my meetings and stuff like that. Like those are things I desire to have. Now, what do I need? I need to eat. I need to drink my water. I need to have a roof over my head, right? Those are the things that I need. Now, we have to understand the difference between our wants and our needs, y'all, right? Our wants and our needs. So this is when I'm going to tell you guys, and this is going to hit home for a lot of people. This is going to hit home for a lot of people. Why? Because a lot of us get things that we want and we try to justify it by saying it's a need. Like we say like, okay, I'm going to go get a $60 meal because I need food. But you may need food, but do you need that $60 meal? Or could you got something that was a little bit more affordable for yourself at the time, that was more in your budget? I need food, so I'm gonna go to the 60 to get $100 meal at a steakhouse just because. You know what I'm saying? Like those are things that you want to do, you desire to do. But we can make small sacrifices now and save our money. And this is stuff I still tell myself too, because it's times when I go to, these steakhouses and the bill is $100 and I'm just like, nah, that was a waste of money. It was a waste of money. Like I didn't need this. I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Like we all need housing, we all need shelter, right? We all need a roof over our head, but we want to have the most expensive house. And there's nothing wrong with getting the things that we want. However, people with wealthy mindsets, they get the things that they want after they invest in stuff that can pay for it. They don't go just get a paycheck like, first of all, shout out to the Young and Dumb show that's coming out. And on one of the episodes, and I know I'm not supposed to be saying this, and they're going to kill me for saying this, my production team, but somebody, and I told them to clip this part because it was a major gem. Somebody said like, he said, I knew people who had these watches, these cars, and all this stuff, but like, they wearing it to be like, oh, let me check the time to see what time I got to go to work. And I was like, like, that make mad sense. He was, and it just put a lot of things in perspective for me, because it's like a lot of times we get the things that we want to go back into the same place that we hate just to say that we got the things that we want. Like we go purchase the things that we want because it's like we feel like we deserved it. We worked so hard for it. We worked all the hours for it. So we go purchase the things that we want just to go back to the place that we hate to say that we got it. And it's just like we stay on a rat race because we continue to work hard. We continue to work hard. Now I got to work extra hard to pay off that expensive car that I bought. Now I got to work extra hard to pay off something that I didn't need that I bought, right? So it's just like a rat race that we keep running and we keep running and we keep running. But we need money working for us, because that's the true freedom. The true freedom is not in a rat race. The true freedom is not in our 401k. The true freedom is in us doing the things that we need to do to set our family up for freedom. I could go off on a tangent, but we're going to get back to it, right? So it's important that we know the difference between the things that we want and the things that we need. Like, it's so funny to me because I'm not sure if everybody has this issue, but it's just like, I personally feel like the things that I feel like I can't have, I want it real, real, real bad. But then once I get it, or once I have access to something, it's like, nah, I don't want it like that. Like, it was times when I used to be fiending for sneakers, like fiending for sneakers. But now, like, God, thank you, all glory to God. But like, if I want to go get a pair of sneakers now, I could just go get the sneakers. Like, that's no issue. But it's just like, now that I could do it, I don't care to go do it. Like, that don't happen to y'all. Like, it's like, I feel like the things that I really, really, really wanted, and now I can go do it and I can have it, and I can do all the things I want to do. I don't want it no more. And now the things that I feel like that's not in my reach right now, those are the things I want really, really bad. Until I get that, now it's gonna be something else that I want. Like, one thing my father told me one time, he was like, yo, Aaliyah, it's always gonna be something new that you want. That's consumer syndrome. I just made that up, that consumer syndrome, but I like that. Consumer syndrome. Right? As consumers, we're always gonna want something new. I can get the new iPhone. An iPhone gonna come out in September. I'm gonna want it. I can have an Apple Watch. Works perfectly fine. A new Apple Watch comes out. I'm gonna want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as humans, it's hard for us to be content when the people around us and other people have all the things that we want. So it's super, super important that we understand that it's always going to be something new that we want. And it's okay to say, like, all right, not right now. I'm going to sacrifice these years so that I can get what I want when I want it at any time. All right, so now we're going to talk about, like, how to actually, save our money, right? So when we want to keep track of our spending, right? So it's super important that we know, okay, this is where my money is going. This is what I spent today. Like, it was times when I didn't know where my money was going. It was just gone. Now I'm still working on my spending habits, but at least I know, like, okay, my money's being allocated towards here. My money's being allocated towards there. Like, I know where my money is going. Now we got to separate our wants from needs, what we just talked about. And then we have to manage our credit card debt, y'all. We got to stay away from that bad debt. Don't be going into debt for a pair of shoes, for a bag, for a coat. Like, it's not worth going into debt for none of that stuff, y'all. It's not worth it at all, right? And we could cut down, expensive services that we need, right? So if you're a college student, instead of paying $14.99 for Apple Music, get the $5.99 deal, right? You don't have to be a college student. You can just be a high school student or whatever. Get the $5.99 deal, right? You're saving, a little bit of money right there, right? I don't like to talk about eating out a lot because I eat out a lot, but advice to myself as well. We don't always have to eat out all the time, right? We can buy groceries and cut back there, right? So it's just different ways that you could kind of cut back, but also find ways to make more money, because if you make more money, like, those small little tweaks won't really matter like that, right? And then we gotta let go of bad habits, right? So bad habits, like just taking Ubers just because, right? Like, it's not worth it, right? However, be safe. If it's late at night, don't be like, I'm trying to save $10, so I'm gonna just take the train or something. Like, no, take the Uber. Like, be safe. But you want to make sure that you're not just wasting your money just to waste your money, right? So now we're going to talk about different saving plans, right? So we have the 50-30-20 rule, right? So 50% of your money should be going to your needs, right? So if you have a check, right? If you get a check, after you get your check, 50% of that check should be going to all the things that you need, right? So if I have $1,000, $500 should be going to all the things that I need. Now, right, we took away the $500, so we took away the 50%. So now we have $500 left. Now 30% of that $500 should be going to the things that we want, right? So that can be like, our streaming services, because we don't need that. We don't need Netflix. That's a want. We don't need Disney Plus. That's a want, right? So it can be going to those, dinners or whatever, right? So 30% of our money goes there. Now, somebody tell me 30% of 500 real quick. What's 30% of 500? 30% of 500. We're going to do that real quick, right? 30% of 500, 150, right? So 30% of 500 is $150, right? So now I got $150 left. right? So with my $150, that's money that I use to invest. And this is considering that we have a low income. You get what I'm saying, right? So $1,000 a month is not a lot of money at all, right? So if you're having like 5,000 a month, or if you're a college student and you have maybe 1,000, right? That's reasonable for a college student, right? Or like 500 to 1,000. Like, you just find ways to budget that. But my favorite plan that I like myself is saving 10% of your earnings, right? Because it's very reasonable for a lot of people. Like, it's very hard for people to allocate 50% here, 30% here, 20% here. Like, a lot of people, it's hard for them. It works for some people, but it's hard for a lot. So 10% is very reasonable. If I get $100, I save $10. If I get $500, I save $50. If I get 1,000, I save 100. Right? So it's a little more reasonable because I only have to save a small amount, and if I'm saving that small amount of money, it adds and it adds and it adds over time. Like, if somebody send me $1, you save 10 cents. Like, it's not that hard. It's pretty easy to follow the save 10% rule. Right? Something I've been doing myself, and I don't like it. I promise y'all, I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not cool. But I've been saving 50% of my checks. Why? Because I want to invest my money, when I graduate school. So I'm like, okay, I want to have a certain amount of money put away. So I've been saving 50% of my checks, and doing it that way. Now, right, another rule that works is you can save 30% as well. So it's whatever works for you. Like, I keep trying to tell people, like, don't put financial literacy into this one like thing. There's no like absolute rule that's going to work for you. Like, if you have 5 kids, it may be hard for you to do certain things that other people with 1 kid is able to do, right? So you want to be able to just work within your budget, but you have to create that budget, and you have to create those financial boundaries for yourself to know, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do with my money. All right, so type of 1 in the chat if that makes sense, right? I want to make sure y'all still here. I want to make sure that makes sense. All right, so now, real quick, I want to break down a couple of things, right? So these are terms that we should know, but a lot of people don't know. And it's completely fine because y'all come to platforms like Financial Revolution to find this information. So I want y'all to know disposable income is money that you have left over after taxes, right? So if you're an employee, employees get tax first, right? So as soon as you get your check, tax is already taken out, right? So that's what happens when you're an employee. Now, when you're a business owner, you get tax last, right? Which I can go live and explain that at another time. But disposable income is money you have left over after taxes. So if I have $1,000 check and they take out taxes and now I only have $850, the $850 is my disposable income. Now, discretionary income, right? So we have disposable money after taxes. Now, discretionary income is money that we have left over after we pay for all the things that we need. Like, all the things that we need to survive, that's our after we pay for that, that's our discretionary income, right? Money that we can use for discretion, right? So let's say, I got my $850, that's my disposable income. And then now I just paid my rent. That was $200. I paid I'm gonna say mortgage. I don't like the word rent because I wanna say that we all homeowners, right? We all homeowners, right? So, and not just homeowners, we're all investors, because there's a difference between homeowners and investors. But I'll explain that too, right? So, I paid my mortgage. That was $200, hypothetically, right? We won't find a mortgage for $200 no more. So I paid my mortgage $200. I paid for my grocery. That was $150. I paid for what else? My insurance. That was $50, right? So 200, 100, 200, 150, 50, right? That's $400 right there. So I got $400. So 400 minus 850, right, is 450 or 350. One of those. My math is off. I'm not a mathematician. I'm very heavy tech savvy. I'm good with the, what is it called? The calculator. Right? So I got 450 left or $400 left. Now that is now my discretionary income for me to go use on my wants and my needs, because my wants and whatever my investments, whatever I want to do with it, because that's paid my taxes and I paid my mortgage and I paid all my needs, right? So I paid all the basic things that I need to survive for that month. Now we have fixed expenses, right? So fixed expenses is money that is expenses that like we know every month we have to pay for that and it's not changing. Like every month I know my mortgage is going to be $200. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to say like, okay, oh, I don't know if I got to pay this month. Like you absolutely know you have this coming up. Like renters know the first of the month, that's the day that they got to pay their rent. They got to have their money by that day, right? So that's how that works, right? So now that's a fixed expense. So we know like, okay, the cable bill is this exact price. My phone bill is this exact price. That's a fixed expense. If you have auto pay, that means your money and your card is automatically charged on that date, and that's your fixed expenses. Now we have flexible expenses. So flexible expenses is like, okay, this is something that I may not have to pay for this month, or the price may vary, right? It can change, right? So that can be like the price of groceries, right? What if I'm going away this month? I don't need to buy that much groceries because I'm going away. Or let's say that it's my child's birthday, right? That's a flexible expense because not every month is their birthday, or every week or day is their birthday. So those are flexible expenses that can change or vary, or they're not set in stone, right? So those are just some keywords that I want y'all to know, right? So discretionary income, disposable income, and fixed expenses and flexible expenses. Now we're going to get into what we all waiting for, right? The source of the night. How to actually create a budget, y'all. So how, like, if I want to create a budget, what do I start with? So when you want to calculate what is your income, right? So we're going to act like we're creating a monthly budget, right? Because that's a little more, easy to understand. How much money do I have coming in every month? Do I have a stable job, right? So if I have a stable job and I'm getting paid 1,200, I'm gonna use easy numbers. See, I'm making life hard for myself. If I get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks, right, that means I'm getting paid $2,000 for that month. That's my only source of income. I only have my job. So that's $2,000 for that month. So I know, okay, my monthly income is $2K. Now I have to calculate my expenses. All right, I know I got to pay my mortgage. That's $200. I know I got to pay my gas. My gas. Well, my insurance, that's $50. I know I have to pay my phone bill. That's another $50. So altogether, my expenses are $400. Right? Did I do that right? No, I had 100. No, 200, and then 100. Sorry, 300. So my expenses are $300. Right? So because I know my expenses are $300, I know that, okay, automatically, right, I got $2,000, but automatically I got to subtract $300. Now I'm left with $1,700. So I got $1,700 to get all the other things that I need to do, plus save money, plus invest money, right? So we have to figure out how we going to budget this, right? So you have the income, you have your expenses, and now you break down your plan, right? You figure out, okay, are you going to do the 50% save? Are you going to do a 30% save, the 10%, right? Where's your savings? What type of savings account are you going to have? What type of investment account are you going to have? What are you invested in, right? And then how much money are you going to invest? Are you going to invest once a week? Are you going to invest once a month? Like, how is this going to work, right? Are you going to invest, like, figuring that out, right? So that's how you create the budget part. Now you want to set your financial goal. If you say, okay, this month I want to save $100, figure out your plan to save that $100. If you say this month I want to invest $100, you figure out your plan to invest the $100. Now, the most important step on this list, y'all, the most important step is to adjust your habits and stay disciplined, y'all. You have to stay disciplined and consistent. So it's real easy for us to say, I'm going to create this budget. I'm going to spend my money this way. I'm going to save my money this way. It's super easy to say those things. But it's hard to stay consistent. And it's almost like our New Year's resolutions. And I'm guilty for this too, y'all. I'm not perfect. a lot of times what we have these New Year resolutions, we write all these things in a book, we write all these things in a note, we go to church, we do all this stuff, we praise the Lord, we tell our friends, and then by February, everything out the window. It's August. How your New Year's resolutions doing now? Like honestly speaking, like took me, y'all. Like y'all still on lock with y'all New Year's resolutions? Maybe like 1 or 2 you on lock with them. But for the most part, like them New Year resolutions, it's clipped for them. It's clipped for that. Right? And that's because we didn't stay consistent. We didn't adjust our habits. Like we wanted to change, but we didn't change our habits. So that means we were getting the same results. Like I told myself, like this year, it's super, super important that I take action on everything that I want to do. Every idea, everything I want to do, take super action. I've been taking so much action that to the point where I'm just doing too much. Right? But it's still like, okay, that was one of my goals for myself. Like, don't sit and dwell on anything that you want to do. Like I've been wanting to start this show for a minute. I go ahead and started it. You get what I'm saying? Right? So you want to also hold yourself accountable. You want to either find an accountability partner, but I also try to tell people that accountability partners are cool, but at the end of the day, you can lie to them. You can say that you did it and you didn't do it. So you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to ask yourself, like, how bad do I actually want it for me to actually go and do this? Right? Maybe it can be like you give somebody $100 and you tell them, like, yo, if I complete this, I get my $100 back. If I don't complete this, you get to keep my $100. Like, do something in order to make sure that you're accomplishing your goals and you're accomplishing the things that you want to do. Right? So once again, to create the budget, you want to figure out what your monthly income is. Then you want to figure out what your monthly expenses are. Then you want to figure out, okay, what exactly is my financial goal? What am I trying to accomplish here? What am I trying to gain here? Like, what do I get out of changing my habits? Then once you figure that out, you want to say, okay, now let me adjust my habits to align with my goals. Because if you don't change your habits, you might as well change your goal. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Right? And then you gotta hold yourself accountable, right? You want to find an accountability partner, but most important, you want to hold yourself accountable, right? So we got some people. I want y'all to drop down where y'all tuned in from. This is Thirsty Thursdays. We about to end it. We rocking the assets over liabilities right now. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. Anybody going to Invest Fest? Is anybody going to Invest Fest, y'all? Right? I won't personally be in the building, but Financial Revolution will be, because Financial Revolution is everywhere where the revolution is happening. Right? So where y'all tuned in from, let me know in the chat before we end this. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. About to go ahead and log out real quick. Appreciate y'all. And make sure y'all following Financial Revolution. Y'all like, comment, and y'all subscribe. I appreciate y'all. And please leave a comment. Please leave a like. You know, if y'all really support, you know, it takes nothing. You know, that's completely free. Tell your friends to, you know, subscribe to the channel. We building the YouTube content out right now. We building YouTube from the ground up and working our way up. So make sure y'all, you know, y'all comment, y'all like, y'all subscribe, and y'all do what y'all gotta do. And once again, if you're looking for a community, you know, that is, you know, talking about financial literacy, if you need any type of financial help, if you're looking, you know, for one-on-one access with me to talk to me, make sure you text yo to 347-851-8868. So just text yo or what's up, Aaliyah, to 347-851-8868. And I'll be able to help y'all. I've been having a lot of people text me, so I'm going to hit everybody back. And I'm going to just help y'all understand everything. You know, if you need help with credit, if you need help with budgeting, if you need help with, you know, just changing your mindset. If you know, I send motivation throughout the day. So whatever it is that you need, I'll be able to provide it. So just text yo or what's up, Aaliyah, to 347-851-8868.